The opinions and statements expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of WWDB, its staff, or management.
You're listening to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso, the voice of real estate in the Delaware Valley, on WWDB AM Talk 860 and WWDBAM.com.
What an exciting weekend. It's been jam-packed with just so much going on. And now it's Sunday, and it's shaping up to be a great day, mixed with some family time and a little bit of business. I was up early as usual getting ready for my show and just can't wait to get things started. So let's talk about real estate on this Super Sunday morning. Greetings, everyone, and happy Sunday to all of you. Welcome to Real Estate Today. I'm your host, Paul Rosso, your real estate advocate on WWDB, Talk 860 AM. I'm a real estate master salesperson with RE/MAX Properties and the trusted real estate advisor for hundreds of sellers, buyers, and investors in the Bucks County, Philadelphia, and eastern Montgomery County areas. So if you know of anyone or if you need help yourself, have any questions about real estate or need any help with selling, buying, or investing in the Bucks County, Philadelphia, or eastern Montgomery County's area, I'm ready to help you out. Hey, if you're outside of my market area, I have a network of great agents who work closely with me so I can assist you in finding a great agent, even if you're outside my market area. And the good news is that if I refer you out to someone, I stay in touch to make sure that you're getting the best service possible. Hey, yesterday I met with the real estate investor Jim, who I'll be helping to find some properties that meet his investment goals. Jim has been actively investing in real estate for a couple of years now, so I'm excited to help him increase his real estate investment portfolio. We're going to get started this week on doing that. Hey, I'm real excited you're joining me today on WWDB Talk 860 AM on this Super Sunday morning. The show is also streamed live on our website at retodayshow.com. Hey, every week I team up with local and national experts to bring you expert commentary and the rest of the story beyond what you read and hear about on real estate. My mission is to keep you up to date on the latest real estate news, information, tips, and trends. The number to call into the show is 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402. I have some great guests lined up for the show today. We're going to start off things with James Jennings. He's the editor of the Philadelphia section of the property section of Philadelphia Magazine and the property blog at phillymag.com. James will be talking about the top 5 developments that he is tracking in the Philadelphia area, and we'll share some insights of other developments on the horizon also. Then we'll have Bill Mervin with Maverick Funding Corp, who will be updating us on some recent changes to the FHA and conventional program and how these changes will benefit a home buyer. So I'm real excited about the show today. It's jam-packed with some great information for you, so stay tuned. Hey, I'd love to hear from you during the show today. There are several ways you can join in the conversation. You can call into the show with your questions or comments at 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402. You can text me at 215-778-9687, 215-778-9687. If you're on Twitter, you can follow us on RE Today Show. And if you're on Facebook, please like our Facebook page, RE Today Show. Hey, I'll be co-hosting a free homebuyer seminar on Thursday, February 19th of this year from 6:30 to 7:30 in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Kristen Riley, a home loan consultant with Univest Bank and Trust, will be joining me for the seminar. I'll be sharing 10 key insider tips on buying a great home at a great price with great financing. And Kristen will be talking about the pre-approval process and your credit profile, including how you can purchase a home even if you don't have perfect credit. The homebuyer seminar will be held at Univest Bank at 15 Swamp Road in Newtown, Pennsylvania, just about 5 minutes from the Newtown exit of I-95. To register for this free informative home buying seminar, you can give me a call at my office at 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402. You can also text me your email address, and I can follow up with you. My text number, again, is 215-778-9687. You can also email me your information to register, and that's at paulrosso.com. That's Paul at PaulRosso.com. And be sure to mention the Home Buyer Seminar. All right, then. You're listening to The Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso on WWDB Talk 860 AM and stream live on our website at retodayshow.com. So let's get the show going. 2015 is shaping up to be a great year in real estate. There's a lot of development going on in the area. I saw a great piece on the Philadelphia Magazine blog about the top 5 developments they are tracking in 2015. So here to talk about them is James Jennings, the editor of the property blog, on PhiladelphiaMag.com, PhillyMag.com, and the property section of Philadelphia Magazine. Welcome to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso on this Super Sunday morning. James, glad to have you with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you. How's your Sunday morning shaping up there, James?
It's shaping up to be pretty good.
Good.
Nothing planned, really.
Okay. Hey, since you're a first-time guest with us, I like to ask the first-timers, if you have any special routines or traditional meals, on Sunday at your house now or when you were growing up.
Sunday is just a day I like to relax with my family. It's
excellent.
A day to unwind. I have a 3-year-old son at home and my wife.
Great.
Like just hang out and enjoy each other.
Oh, that's terrific there, James. Hey, James, if you have any questions for James about developments in the Philadelphia area, give us a call at 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402, or text me at 215-778-9687. So, James, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do for Philadelphia Magazine?
So I'm the newly named editor at Philadelphia Magazine's property section and blog.
Great.
So,
congratulations.
It's PhillyMag.com and PhillyMag.com/property.
Okay.
So the website centers around Philadelphia real estate, also in the region.
Okay.
We try and feature, houses on the market that are just incredible to look at.
Great.
Whether it's the price point or the amenities or the location, anything that makes the house really stand out, we want to focus on.
Okay.
We also focus on development. So we'll be talking about that a little later. But
yes.
Anything that's being built or sold within the Philadelphia region, we like to have our finger on the pulse there.
Great. So let's talk about some of the developments in the area. I saw your article you did with Angeli about the top 5 developments you're tracking in 2015. So why don't we go over them? The first one you mentioned about the year of the hotels. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. It seems like every new development that's coming down the pike has some sort of hotel. I mean, it's a little bit of hyperbole, but, and there are a couple real tangible ones that we're about to see. I think in 2015 we're really going to start to see them break ground and take shape. You have the SLS International, which is a combination hotel and residences at Broad and Spruce.
Okay.
And you also have the W planned. Hopefully that happens at 15th in Chestnut. That's a combined hotel, the W and the Element. So I think that you're finally going to start to see some of these newly built hotels start to break ground, maybe demo the site in the case of the SLS, and even a groundbreaking hopefully for the W.
Oh, that'd be great. Great. And then you talked about the Divine Lorraine is showing signs of life. What's happening with the Divine Lorraine?
Well, I think for whatever reason, and not for whatever reason, it's a beautiful building, but the building always carries such intrigue for people, whether they're longtime residents, new transplants. I went to Temple University, where everyone was always asking about, what's going on with the Divine Lorraine? And
yes.
Even visitors, we noted earlier that Sarah Jessica Parker, of all people, on our tour of Philadelphia for her new, during a recent shoot, she marveled at it. So it always has this presence on North Broad, and so throughout 2014 we kept hearing news, renderings released, the hotel element to it. So I think 2015 is really the time that we'll hopefully see something finally happen there. I think people have been waiting for that for a long time, and I think it'll really become a huge showcase on North Broad Street.
Now, who's developing that?
It looks like Eric Blumenfeld of EB Realty Management.
Okay.
He's taking over a lot of projects on North Broad. We just profiled the Mural Arts Mural Arts Loft at Broad and Spring Garden Street. You might know the building. It's got a big mural on the side of it.
Sure.
It used to be a former school, Thaddeus Stevens School. So, I mean, that's going to be converted into loft apartments. And then, he has other plans as well on North Broad Street. We profiled a project he has upcoming called the Studebaker Building. That's where Steven Starr's commissary is, and there's going to be New Orleans-style restaurants and apartments, and they're going to expand the commissary space. So he's really starting to develop the North Broad corridor there.
That's great. And the next item you talked about, you were tracking, is the skyline. You said the skyline redefined. How's that happening there, James? Well,
I think, late in 2014, we finally saw, the groundbreaking of the Comcast Innovation and Technology Center.
Right.
And that one, obviously, is a huge project. There's a major architecture firm, Foster & Partners, attached to it. And it's, going to be the tallest building in Philadelphia, and I believe the tallest one outside of New York and Chicago in North America. So, it's a statement-making kind of building. And
no, definitely.
To have Comcast kind of firmly kind of supplant their presence here is huge for the city. And, with that type of building, it's big time. So, we just recently featured the big concrete pour that they had.
Right.
That was a popular post. People were really intrigued by how the foundation was set for that building.
Sure.
So that's going to be game changer for the city. And then even as big as the CITC is going to be, even the FMC Tower on the other side of the Schuylkill. In West Philly off of 30th Street is going to be another one where when you come in on 76, you come in on 95, you see it from everywhere. That skyline is going to start to expand. So you're going to start to see, these buildings grow. In 2015, you're going to hear more news about them. So
sure.
Even buildings further up, we just featured 3737 Chestnut Street, which is just about to top out. You have the Summit over there, which are just larger buildings that you're going to start to see just a different type of Philly skyline. It's expanding.
Right. We're talking with James Jennings with Philadelphia Magazine and PhillyMag.com. He handles the property section for both of those. And we're talking about top developments that, he's watching in 2015 in Philadelphia and the region. On Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso on WWDB Talk 860 AM. Hey, if you have any questions for James, give us a call, 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402, or text me at 215-778-9687. So, James, the next one is the Navy Yard City, you called it. What's going on with the Navy Yard?
Well, the Navy Yard just seems like every year it's just expanding leaps and bounds. So, we're looking for more business to move there, and hopefully we'll hear more news about the redeveloping of Southport.
Right.
And even, just new buildings going up every day. I know Urban Outfitters has their headquarters there, and they're continually doing work on the buildings. And I don't know if you've ever been in there, but it's beautiful architecture. And the contrast between the old ships and the kind of industrial element now with these new glossy buildings, Glaxo's new building. So I feel like 2015 is just another year where you're just going to see expansion and be another asset to the city.
Right. Have you heard of any expansion of transportation down that area?
I know that's been talked about.
Yes.
And they do have quite an extensive shuttle service for employees. It's a bus service, which goes into Center City. It goes, I believe, down along the waterfront. So that helps.
Sure.
And with the proposed velodrome in FDR Park, who knows what the future may bring in that regard. But It's definitely possible, especially if it keeps expanding and hotels and people staying there for an extended period of time. They're going to need to be able to get there. So maybe down the road. Okay, great. Hey James, we have to take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to go over the last one and then talk about some of the other upcoming developments that are out there on the horizon.
So stay tuned. We'll have more back with James Jennings from Philadelphia Magazine and PhillyMag.com in a moment.
Why the long face, Joe?
I'm supposed to move soon, but I just can't seem to sell my house. I've been on the market for over 10 months, and my agent hasn't called me back in weeks. I don't know what to do.
Call Paul.
What?
Call Paul. I had the same problem until I called Paul Rosso of RE/MAX Properties. When I called Paul, I had buyers lining up to see my home, and because they were all competing for the home, I was able to sell my home for more than my asking price.
More?
That's right, more. Paul Rosso has sold hundreds of homes in the greater Philadelphia region over the last 25 years. As a certified home selling advisor and certified negotiation expert, Paul's developed a proven home selling system that is designed to sell your home for top dollar quickly. He offers an easy exit contract and a communication guarantee.
Wow. Tell me how to call Paul.
Just dial 215-968-7402.
215-968-7402. Got it.
You can also visit Paul on the web at paulrosso.com. That's PaulRosso.com. Paul Rosso is your trusted real estate advisor if you want to sell your home for top dollar fast.
I'm calling Paul right now.
Hi, this is Manny and Jessica, and we just wanted to let you guys know how much a fantastic agent Paul Rosso is. He helped us buy our first house many, many years ago, and he just helped us buy our second house. We used to live in Philly, and we were looking for something bigger for our two children and also a better school district. And Paul was very professional and punctual, I would say, was very knowledgeable about our options and where to look and what to do. We were very happy with his service and his patience with us. He was always there to help us through with any questions and, areas and suggestions. And I would definitely recommend Paul to anyone looking to buy a house or to sell a house.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today. I'm your host, Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties, and I'm the go-to realtor for sellers who need to get their home sold for top dollar quickly. You can reach out to me at my office anytime at 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402 if I could be of any help. Hey, I'm thrilled to have you with us today. I hope you're enjoying the show on this Super Sunday morning. Be sure to join us on Facebook at RE Today Show. So we're continuing on with our discussion with James Jennings with PhillyMag.com and Philadelphia Magazine, talking about the top developments in the city of Philadelphia and also in the region coming up. And James, last item you've talked about in your top 5 developments that you're tracking in 2015. You titled it as Rivers in Motion. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Philadelphia, smack dab in between two wonderful rivers. So
yes.
There's been a lot of development in the last couple of years. Ray Street Pier on the Delaware, the Schuylkill River Boardwalk, and the Schuylkill River banks. So we just expect it to kind of continue. You have Pier 68 down in South Philly near the Walmart. That should open up sometime this year. It's going to be a fishing pier. That's another kind of big public amenity. And then on the Delaware River, will the plans further to Cap 95? Will we find out more information? Will it happen? Won't it? There's a lot of questions surrounding
Sure.
that, but it's a major project to try and connect the central kind of business district and Old City into the Delaware River. And then, with the Schuylkill River, it's just every day you hear something new.
Yeah.
And, especially with Penn's expansion, to the east side
Sure.
of the river. So we fully expect those projects to kind of continue to round off and to kind of change the environment, around the Schuylkill River as well.
Yeah, definitely. Now, my understanding is that is the floating park around Spruce Street was very successful last year, and they're talking about bringing that back?
Yeah, there is talk to bring that back. I mean, I haven't heard either way if it will be the same, as before. I know it was a huge success. It was named one of the world's best urban beaches,
right?
By the Huffington Post. So huge success. It brought a lot of attention to, a kind of underutilized space.
Right.
And actually, it's interesting. We talk about hotels. The Hyatt on Penn's Landing will be completely made over as well this year. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
So I believe that's getting a name change as well. So kind of these type of developments make a big deal. Make a big deal in the long run. So
yeah, definitely. James, I'm a big believer that what's good for Philadelphia is also good for the region. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things I guess we didn't talk about. We talked about it a little bit in our prediction piece.
Okay.
But the East Market development is another thing. With the improvements at the convention center.
Right.
East Market, the kind of mega project there at 11th and Market Street, will bring a whole different street experience. The Lipp Brothers signage,
right.
That whole area is really going to start to attract people to the region. Again, not to say that it ever stopped with the historical element as well, but
sure.
It's going to be a whole different thing, especially if the gallery can be remade. So, other.
What are some other developments you see on the horizon, either in Philadelphia or the suburbs?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think another interesting one to kind of look at would be, the expansion of the King of Prussia Mall.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're planning a 155-foot, 1,000-square-foot expansion there, and then everything will be kind of fully enclosed. It seems like everything's going to be, top of the line, with King of Prussia. So
yeah, it looks like they're joining the two malls together too, from what I understand.
Sure, and you're starting to see a couple, more, younger developments driven towards younger demographics there, with a couple, larger residential things around the mall. Conshohocken, is deciding, whether they'll develop that large tract of land there. So that whole kind of corridor is changing as well. And recently Keswick Village was purchased. So who knows what's going to happen there in Glenside.
Right.
So
sure.
that's another thing that could really kind of shape that area.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there seems to be so much going on right now. It seems to be a year of transition and some great projects coming along.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard it's difficult to keep track of them, but I mean, we, with the property blog, we're dedicated to really to being on top of things, not only in the city. I know there tends to be a city focus, but we're really trying to get out into the suburbs and the region to see what's going on. What are the developments that are changing those areas as well. So,
right. Now, are you interviewing the developers at all on some of these projects?
Yeah, we definitely try and get as much information as we can.
Okay.
A lot of times that involves talking to the developers, or if we're featuring a property on our website, we'll call the listing agent, see if they have different pictures, or if they can kind of give us a little more insight on the property.
Right.
And that's especially true with the magazine element. We have two magazine features within the section. One is Habitat, which we feature stunning homes. Whether it's the architecture, the design, just some of the features in the houses, exposed brick, exposed beams, super luxury, bathrooms, things like that.
Okay.
And then we also have it on the market section here, the January issue. We featured just built properties, so for the new year, and so we'd go out and we feature 4 kind of on a theme, and then and kind of mix it up regionally. So we have one in Coatesville, one's in Haverford, another one in Graduate Hospital down in near the Schuylkill, and then one's in Bella Vista. One coming up is in Delaware. So we try and mix it up, and we try and feature all of the great either architecture or listings throughout the region.
Right. And one thing I'm hearing from our conversation here and some of the things that you shared today is that everyone seems to be bullish on Philadelphia and the region.
Yeah, I would say, especially with some of these big projects. They're just people call them game changers, but they're really like statement makers. Even things like the Art Museum master plan. That's led by Frank Gehry, who's an internationally recognized architect, and so you're getting these developments that are really high, they attention grabbing.
Sure.
And they're really aimed at sprucing up each corridor. The part of Ben Franklin Parkway has a lot of projects going on. East Market Street East has a lot of projects. South Philadelphia, it's just like everywhere you look.
Yeah, well, that's good news for the region.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Well, James, I really want to thank you for taking the time out of your Sunday morning to share with us some of the developments that are impacting Philadelphia and the region this year and in the future. I'd love to have you on again to join us and talk a little bit more about some of the other topics that you discussed, especially like some of the homes you've featured, some of the impactful homes that you've featured in your blog and in your magazine. I'd love to hear some of the stories about them and, keep up to date on some of the developments that we talked about today. So we'd love to have you come back on in the future and talk a little bit more about, some of what you do in your magazine and also, update on some of the developments. So I look forward to having you on in the future.
Yeah, that would be great. Again, the site's just phillymag.com/property, and I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, if someone wanted to reach out to you, can they reach out to you through phillymags.com?
Sure, yeah. It's just J Jennings.
J Jennings, okay.
At phillymag.com.
Excellent.
And, you'll be able to get me in an email, and I'll be sure to respond. I'm looking forward to hearing from people.
Terrific. Well, thanks again, James, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday there with your family.
Hey, thanks. My wife's cooking a pulled pork, slow cook.
Excellent, man. Excellent. I'll be over.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks again, James. Hey, when we come back, I'll be talking with Bill Mervin with Maverick Funding Corp. Talk about some of the recent changes to the FHA and conventional mortgage programs that will be benefiting homebuyers this year. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to buy a home? Here at Maverick Funding, we make home buying simple. Our local specialists are dedicated to providing industry-leading products and the personalized service you deserve, all while saving you time and money with our fast closings and great rates. As a direct lender, we offer a full line of programs including FHA, VA, 203K, conventional, HARP, and jumbo loans. Whether you're a first-time home buyer looking to lower your monthly payments with a refi or purchasing investment properties, we have a program to fit your needs. We're conveniently located in Newtown, Bucks County, King of Prussia, PA, and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Call 215-839-0174 to get a pre-qualification letter for your eligible loan amounts under 24 hours. Again, call Maverick Funding at 215-839-0174 for a free consultation, and be sure to mention this exclusive offer for a $500 credit at closing.
If you're thinking of selling your home and feel that you have the quality of home that should be a featured home on the Real Estate Today show, call Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties now at 215-968-7402. As a featured home on Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso, your home will be presented to thousands of home buyers in the area, on the radio, on the internet, and through Paul's social media outlets. To find out if your home qualifies to be a featured home on Real Estate Today, call Paul Rosso right now at 215-968-7402. 215-968-7402.
From Philadelphia and its suburbs to the Jersey beaches and into Delaware, you are listening to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso, the voice of real estate in the Delaware Valley, on WWDB Talk 860 AM and streamed live around the world on www.retodayShow.com. Happy Sunday. We're glad you're with us.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso, the voice of real estate in the Delaware Valley. So happy to have you join us today on WWDB Talk 860 AM. Your show is also streamed live on our website at RETodayShow.com. Our call number, if you have any questions or comments, is 215-968-7402, 215-968-7402. You can also check us out on Facebook at RE Today Show. Hey, there's been some recent changes to the FHA and conventional mortgage programs recently, so I want to bring on Bill Mervin with Maverick Funding Group to talk to us about that. Happy New Year there, Bill. Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Good. Hey, I heard there's some recent changes to FHA and also conventional programs, so I want to bring you on to talk to us a little bit about those changes.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Thanks again for having me on, of
Sure.
course, as always. Two recent changes that I think are, definitely of note to, home purchasers and even some refinancers is, first of all, on the conventional loans, they have reintroduced a 3% down payment. It had,
Okay. Well, that's
minimum
good.
down payment. Yeah, they had previously been at 3%, and then about a year or two ago, sometime in the last 2 years, they changed it to a 5%. So 97% financing for conventional loans is back on the market. Why that's important is for the most qualified borrowers who just happen to either not have or not want to put a large down payment down, but everything else is ideal, and they want to avoid the higher mortgage insurance of an FHA loan, now have an option on the table that's competitive. So that's the first change. And the FHA, yeah, go ahead.
And with the 3% down, can that money be gifts on a conventional, or does that need to be the borrower's own money?
On a conventional, you get into some caveats, but typically on a conventional loan, if it's a primary residence, single family, you can get a gift. You can never get a gift on an investment property, and multifamily properties also have restrictions. But on a conventional single family, you can get a gift for your down payment funds.
Okay, and still have seller's assist also?
Correct. Now, at that higher seller's assist on conventional is a little funny. It's tiered, and what that basically means is at that higher loan to value there, you'll only be able to get a 3% seller's assist.
Okay.
And then once you get with the discussion we're having regarding a 3% down payment, you would still be able to get a seller's assist, which also could be a gift, would be a gift from the seller to the buyers.
Right.
But that is at 3%. Now, on a conventional, once you put 10% down, then you can get the full 6% seller's assist.
Okay, so 3% or 5% down, conventional, you're talking 3% seller assist.
Correct, yes. Anything less than 10% down on conventional, and you can get 3% seller's assist. Now we're throwing a lot out here, but while you can't get a gift on a investment property, you can get seller's assist, but it's capped at 2%. Okay.
Okay. All right, great. And FHA, they've made some changes that are going to be good for the buyers also.
Yeah, this is a biggie, Paul, because the mortgage insurance rate, mortgage insurance, which I was going to get into as well as part of our discussion, is essentially any time you're putting less than 20% down, even when somebody tells you, there's no mortgage insurance, it's always there in one form or another.
Okay.
And mortgage insurance is not your homeowner's insurance. It's not. Homeowner's insurance is what protects you if your house burns down, God forbid, or a flood or anything of that sort. Mortgage insurance doesn't protect you at all. It protects the bank because, again, we don't have a 20% down payment.
Okay.
But the banks, without that insurance, wouldn't make the loan to you. So, it used to be a time where you couldn't get a loan without 20% down. Now you can, but you need to have some form of insurance to insure the bank against losses since you're not putting a large down payment down. So FHA has mortgage insurance, and due to all the losses during the financial crisis that FHA had seen, they almost tripled the mortgage insurance over a period of roughly 5 years.
Okay.
To compensate for some of those losses.
Right.
Now they've kind of overshot and done well the last few years, and so this mortgage insurance reduction is really an opportunity to keep the housing market moving forward, and also you can do a streamline, which I can get into later in the show, but which is a reduction. If you already did a loan over the last 2 years at the higher mortgage insurance rate, you can actually do a streamline, which would actually allow you to reduce that mortgage insurance rate. So it's a pretty big deal. It's about 0.5%.
Okay.
So on a $150,000 loan, you're talking $750 a year for as long as you're in the loan.
Sure. Okay.
$300,000, of course, $1,500 a year in savings.
That's good.
And this was just announced about a week ago. It's not even actually goes into effect on the 26th, Paul. But anything as long as it doesn't close before the 26th. So pretty much we're taking applications now to close at that new reduced rate.
Okay. And you talked about the streamline. If they do that to lower their FHA private mortgage insurance, can they get a lower rate also if there is a lower rate out there?
Absolutely. I mean, yes, absolutely. What a streamline, typically, rates right now are very, very close to the all-time lows that we hit back in 2012. So in almost all cases, not only are the borrowers that we're doing these for getting a reduction in the mortgage insurance rate, they're also getting a reduction in their interest rate.
Okay.
But what's better yet is that with the streamlined loan, the one catch for the bank, which is really a benefit to the borrower, is so there's no appraisal required, okay, under the vast majority of circumstances. If you have a second mortgage or something like that, there are some situations where you would need one. But in the vast majority of situations, there's no new appraisal required, and there's no income verification, which is the large part of the mortgage process. And they do just confirm that you do have a source of income. So we do what's called a verbal verification of employment. Or if it's a fixed income source, they just confirm it, but they don't do any kind of analysis. The assumption is that if you have your mortgage now and you're paying it on time, they're going to allow you to re-enter the market at a lower interest rate and with this lower mortgage insurance. And with
without an appraisal, it's going to reduce the cost of the streamline. Basically, you're refinancing, right? Basically.
Well, but that's the thing is, if you think about it from the bank's perspective, Paul, is they're not doing another appraisal to establish value, and they're not doing another income check. So what the FHA says is, you can do this streamline, but you can't, even if we wanted to. Like a lot of times when a lender says, oh, there's no closing costs, what a lot of lenders mean by that is you're not going to pay anything out of pocket.
Right.
Well, by the way, we're going to pack all these costs into your loan.
Sure.
We cannot do that as a lender on a streamline. So we can only refinance for what your existing payoff is.
Okay.
Since we're not doing those additional checks. And so what that means is that typically the lender will issue a lender credit to you to pay the closing costs. So in layman's terms, what that means is the bank's going to pay the closing costs for you, and you're essentially going to walk away with a loan that's going to be what you owed previously, but typically a lower interest rate and definitely a lower mortgage insurance rate.
Okay, so that's some good savings for a homeowner, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's really no downside to it without the cost and without the hassle of it. I mean, I'm doing one right now for a borrower that's, about a $200,000 loan, and they're going to save a good, $175 a month. And again, there's no cost to them. So if you do qualify for it, which anybody who's really done an FHA loan in the last 3 years who's paying their mortgage on time typically will, 9 times out of 10, it'll be a winning proposition.
Okay, well that's definitely good news. Now, so you touched on a little bit about private mortgage insurance, and that some lenders tell you that there's no private mortgage insurance, but it's technically built in. Can you go over that with us as far as conventional loan, how the private mortgage insurance is handled?
Certainly. So there's 2 types of mortgage insurance. There is what we call, which most people think of when they hear the word mortgage insurance. If they think of anything, they typically think of something you see on your mortgage statement that's an extra amount of money, and all they know it's not going to them, it's going to insure the bank.
Right.
That's what we call monthly mortgage insurance. So if you're above 80% when you either purchase or refinance the home, but if you're above, and when I say 80%, we're talking about a mortgage term. It means loan to value. And what that means is how much do you owe versus what is it worth? So if I buy a house for $100,000, or I refinance my home and it appraises for $100,000 and I owe 80, then I'm at 80%. So I need to be below that to avoid mortgage insurance. So if I purchase a home and I put 10% down and I owe 90%, I pay that monthly mortgage insurance until I hit 80%, and then it will go away.
Okay.
The other option that you were mentioning, when people say, oh, there's no mortgage insurance, there's always some form of mortgage insurance. There's additional risk to the bank, and the bank has to offset that somewhere. So there's something called single premium mortgage insurance, and that is exactly as it sounds, and it means it's paid one time, and then it's done. That insures the bank, and that's it. It's never paid again.
Okay.
I don't want to get too far off the beaten path, but there's even two types of that. There's borrower paid, where you'll actually pay it out of pocket. The one time where that might be a scenario, we don't see that nearly as much on single premium, is if you are doing a loan where you have plenty of seller's assist, and so that you're not paying that money out of your own pocket. But typically what you'll see is the lender will give you a slightly higher interest rate, and then they'll pay that mortgage insurance for you.
Okay.
So what that basically does is it's going to give you a lower payment. You're not going to see that monthly charge coming out every month. So it'll give you a lower payment than paying that monthly mortgage insurance.
Right.
So typically when it's better to go one way or the other is if you just can't afford the payment with the monthly mortgage insurance, and you want to keep your payment in a range that's comfortable.
Right.
That's one.
Okay.
Or number two, Paul, would be a situation where you just don't think that you're going to keep the house that long.
Right.
Because if you have a higher interest rate, you're going to pay that for the entire life of the loan as long as you keep it.
Sure.
Whereas if you pay that monthly rate, you're going to pay a little bit more in the beginning, but it's going to go away after a few years, typically.
Right. Once you build up enough equity, over 20%.
Correct. So obviously these are things that I go through on an individual basis on each scenario, and that's why it's really important to kind of, hey, is this a starter home, or are we I'm going to be here for 15 years,
sure,
20 years, and we'll look at the two scenarios side by side, but those are the two types of mortgage insurance you have on a conventional loan. Is one that you'll see every month, which will go away when you build up that equity, or you'll see a slight increase in the interest rate, but it will stay with you for the life of the loan. But typically, it's less expensive than paying that monthly all at once.
Okay, excellent. Hey, Bill, I need to take a quick break.
Yep.
When we come back, I want to talk to you. Finish up on anything more you want to talk about as far as private mortgage insurance, and then get your thoughts on where we're at with the interest rates now and coming up over the next couple of months. So we'll be right back with Bill Mervin with Maverick Funding Corp. So stay tuned with us.
If you're looking to buy a home in the greater Philadelphia area, listen closely. For over 25 years, Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties has helped hundreds of people just like you buy everything from their first home, move up, dream home, and downsized home. Buying your next house tailor-fit to suit your needs doesn't have to be stressful. Paul is there to guide you every step of the way. As an experienced buyer's specialist and certified negotiation expert, Paul will help you get a home you love at an exceptional value with the most favorable financing possible. If you're looking for honest and reliable client-first service, call Paul Rosso at 215-968-7402. That's 215-968-7402. You can also visit Paul online at paulrosso.com. That's PAULROSSO.com. A lifetime of memories are created in your home, and there's never been a better time to start a fresh, new chapter. Call Paul Rosso, your trusted real estate advisor.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Bucks County, Philadelphia, or eastern Montgomery County areas, Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties can help you reach your real estate goals. Just give him a call at 215-968-7402. If you are outside of Paul's market area, Paul can refer you to one of his top associates in his top agent network who specializes in your area. as a great benefit to you. When Paul refers you to one of his top associates, Paul stays involved in the process to ensure that you are receiving the best possible service and to answer any of your questions. Call Paul Rosso today at 215-968-7402 so he can help you achieve your real estate goals.
You are listening to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso, my dad, on WWDB Talk Radio, 860 AM and WWDBAM.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today. I'm your host, Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties, the go-to guy for buyers who are looking to buy a great home at a great price, and also with great financing with minimal hassle. Our call number is 215-968-7402. 215-968-7402. If you're on Facebook, please like our Facebook page, RE Today Show. And you can listen to the show on your smartphone or tablet with the TuneIn and iHeartRadio apps. So we'll continue our discussion with Bill Mervin from Maverick Funding Corp. We were talking about some of the recent changes to conventional and the FHA program. And we finished the last segment talking about the private mortgage insurance. And, Bill, I just want to see if there's anything else you want to share with us about private mortgage insurance at this point.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up one other point, I think, regarding FHA and conventional. I think sometimes there's some misconceptions out there about certainly the FHA product.
Okay.
There was a time where it was kind of almost stigmatized in terms of being some like an assistance program or a first-time home buyer program. Really has nothing to do with any of that. The three main things that banks look at when they're doing a loan is, credit, of course, score,
sure,
debt ratio, how's your income versus your debts, and then the type of loan. So, for example, a purchase loan is less risky than a cash out loan because the person's getting new cash and taking on, new expenditures.
Right.
So when one product would be preferred versus another, when everything is perfect, even when I say perfect, high credit, from a bank standpoint, that'd be 720, 740 plus. The debt ratios are low. When everything's ideal, from a bank standpoint, conventional, even when you have a lower down payment, like we were talking about with that 97%,
sure,
conventional is going to be better because the FHA mortgage insurance, even with the reduction, is still more expensive than conventional.
And if I'm not mistaken, the private mortgage insurance on an FHA loan, that remains for the life of the loan?
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So you can't, like conventional, you can eventually, once you get to 20%, you can work to get that eliminated, but on FHA, that stays with you until you refinance or sell the house.
That wasn't that way, but that was one of the changes they pushed through in 2013 to do that because it used to also cancel out at 78% to be precise. So we don't know whether that will return or not.
Okay.
Just like they're reducing the rates, but as of right now, yes, it is the life of the loan. When it would be ideal to do FHA, even if you quote-unquote qualified for conventional, is when you start being a little further off of the ideal in one of the particular scenarios. So whether it's credit or down payment or debt ratio. So as you get down, and when you start layering multiple things that banks don't like, so if your credit score is a 660 and you're only putting 5% down or 10% down, while you would probably qualify for a conventional mortgage, conventional mortgages adjust the interest rate based on those factors. If you typically, for the most part, with few exceptions, if you qualify for FHA, you get the same interest rate. So FHA is going to be a lot better when you could be a 680 borrower, 680 credit score, and only putting 10% down. And FHA, when you look at it, actually would be a more competitive product. So unless you're 720, 740, putting at least 10% down, 720 or 740 credit score, and putting at least 10% down, it's at least worth a look at the FHA to compare the two side by side.
Okay.
Because the FHA doesn't have to increase that interest rate because the insurance is much more stable because it's backed by the government. So the banks can afford to give a lower interest rate when they have that FHA insurance in place. So while the FHA insurance is expensive, the interest rates are very competitive, especially when you're in the middle to low credit. So anything under 700 would be worth looking at.
Okay.
Credit would be worth looking at an FHA.
And that's something you normally do with any of your clients, correct?
We sit in council. We go over everything about the goals and everything about the scenario.
Okay.
And if there's more than one ways and there might be a benefit of doing it one way versus the other, we will outline, in writing at both scenarios and go through it and talk about it and make sure that we're comfortable with, the direction we're going.
Right. And real quick, we got about a minute or so to go. Where are the rates now, and where you think are what's impacting the rates right now, and what's coming up in the future there?
Sure. I mean, I've never certainly made any predictions, so to speak, but I've kind of given insight in the past. And,
yeah, definitely.
I'm going to stop telling you what I think they're going to do, Paul.
I hear you.
Surprised everybody.
Yes.
Everybody expected rates to end last year, or I say everybody, the majority of economists, closer to 5% on a fixed rate, and we actually decreased. The long-term trend has to go up. We're well below 30, 40, 50, even 20-year historical norms.
Sure.
However, the fact of the matter is that right now you've got these, international factors that are going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like oil prices and, stuff going on in Ukraine and some of these other places. And so it's, in my opinion, putting, a short-term pressure on interest rates. And so the combination of these mortgage insurance reduction, the down payment changes in conventional, and these low rates that we've kind of had a little bit of a reprieve here on is going to make it a very busy season for us going into the spring buying season.
Yeah, definitely. And real quick, I appreciate you coming on to give us this great update. Real quick, how does someone wants to get in touch with you for any questions or pre-qualifying for a mortgage? How can they do that, Bill?
Sure. You can call me 215-431-7429.
Can you repeat that?
Sure, 215-431-7429.
Okay, great.
I have offices in Bucks County, King of Prussia, and Cherry Hill, New Jersey area.
Excellent. Well, Bill, thanks so much for coming on for the update. Really appreciate your taking time on Sunday morning to come out and talk to us. And, hopefully, people learned a lot from your input today. Really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure coming on, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be right back to wrap things up on Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso.
You finally got the promotion you've been wanting for years. The job is out of state and starts in 3 months. You need an aggressive agent to get your home sold quickly. You ask your friends for advice, and Jennifer recommends you call Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties. She had talked to a couple of real estate agents about selling her home. She hired Paul because of his innovative marketing plan and experience. Within a month, her home was sold at a great price. Paul helped her through the entire process and kept her informed along the way. You take Jennifer's advice and call Paul. Paul sells your home quickly and for more than you were expecting. Today, you're in your new home and starting your new job. Life is good. Now you tell everyone to call Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties, 215-968-7402. That's 215-968-7402.
Do you want to know how much your home is worth today? Find out now at homepricesintheregion.com. Are you curious what homes are worth in an area you want to live? Check out home prices in any area at homepricesintheregion.com. Would you like to stay informed about the latest market conditions in your area? Sign up for a free market report quickly and easily at homepricesintheregion.com. You'll get the most accurate real-time real estate updates sent directly to your email, interactive maps, views of recent solds and new listings, and other realtor insights on any device with no obligation and no spam. Sign up today at homepricesintheregion.com. That's homepricesintheregion.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Paul Rosso. And, hey, I just want to wrap things up today. I hope you enjoyed the show. I think we covered a lot of great topics today as we close out another awesome show. I want to thank my guest today, James Jennings with Philadelphia Magazine and PhillyMag.com for his insights on some key developments in the Philadelphia area, and Bill Mervin with Maverick Funding Corp for an update on some of the latest changes key mortgage programs. Next week, we'll have Barbara Ballinger. She'll be talking about 21 hot housing trends in 2015. And Carl and Trudy Hands with Hands-On Cleaning will be sharing with us some of the tips to keep your property super clean. So be sure to join us again next Sunday morning at 11:30 right here on WWDB Talk 860 and stream live on our website at retodayshow.com. Hey, I'm looking forward to a great afternoon of helping some clients out and enjoying some more time with my family. I really want to thank all of you for tuning into the show on this super Sunday morning and early afternoon for some real estate talk. I hope you enjoy the remainder of your Sunday. I want to thank my producer, Tony, for a great show again today. Once again, my name is Paul Rosso with RE/MAX Properties, the master salesperson, trusted real estate advisor in the Bucks County, Philadelphia, and Eastern Montgomery County areas. You can call me at my office at 215-968-7402. 215-968-7402. If you're outside my market area, I can refer you to a great agent through my referral network. And if I refer you out to an agent, I will stay involved with the entire process to make sure you get great service. Hey, please continue to spread the word about our show. Check out our past shows on our website at retodayshow.com. Have an enjoyable weekend. We will see you next Sunday morning at 11:30 right here on WWDB Talk 860 AM. And remember, a house is made with walls and beams. A home is made with love and dreams. Good day, everybody, and have a great week.